Hello, I'm Erin Palmer, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
Hi everyone, it's me, Krylios, Team Racing Productions co-host and moderator.
Joining us is Colorado State Representative Leslie Herron. Hi, Leslie.
Hi there.
Oh wow, it is so great to have you here with us. Thank you so much for joining us. Please tell our viewers about your candidacy and about your background and experience.
Yeah. Well, I'm so excited to be running to be Denver's next mayor. I will tell you, Denver has never had a female mayor in the history of our Queen City, which is a shame. And it's time that we change that. But really, the priorities are making sure that we're getting the job done for the people. You know, I've been serving in the legislature since 2017. I have passed over 150 pieces of legislation into law, and I am so excited to get the work done for the people of our city.
That's so great. So what's inspired you to run now, and what has inspired you to run for mayor specifically?
Well, I got to tell you, mayor is an interesting role, predominantly because, running and serving, on the Joint Budget Committee and balancing a $36 billion budget for the state of Colorado through COVID, the COVID pandemic and the recovery, if you will. What I noticed was a lot of the great bills we put into law weren't affecting people who live in my own community, people who live in my own city. In fact, Denver wasn't taking advantage of most of the resources, the recovery dollars that the state of Colorado and the feds were offering, and that was a shame. But then additionally, the city started to crack. We're starting to see definitely lack of leadership and lack of direction for our amazing city. And so for me, it's really important that we focus in on that. We've got to make sure that the resources are available to those who live right here in Denver. And that's why I'm running. We've got to focus in and ensure that we have affordable housing for all. We've got to make sure that we deal with our homeless population and treat our unhoused neighbors as people and in a compassionate way, but get them off the streets. Move folks into housing, get people access to mental health care. These are all things that I've worked on, but quite frankly, have had to do as an individual, as opposed to having the power of the city with us. And I know that together in Denver, we can get these things done.
Certainly, certainly. Now, what are your top issues that you are running on as for mayor of Denver?
Absolutely, we have to make sure we have more affordable housing. Right now, the cost of housing is skyrocketing in Denver, which really does stifle so much, like entrepreneurship, artists, young folks who are just trying to make their way. Recently, Denver was named as one of the worst cities to raise a young family in, and that's key is affordability. We have 50,000 less units in Denver than we need right now to meet our current demand. There's no wonder that the prices are going way up and skyrocketing. We could actually build on the land owned by the city and ensure that we have more affordable housing for all. And that includes a diversity of housing stock across the spectrum. We've got to fix this. We've got to do it immediately. But we've also got to make sure, again, I mentioned our unhoused neighbors, that those who are unhoused have access to housing. But additionally, we have to deal with safety. A lot of our major cities are dealing with rising crime rates. Denver is not unique in that. But what is unique is that we have put in place, thanks to work that we've done at the state capitol, things like police accountability, things like alternative 911 police responses called STAR, to make sure that you have a mental health professional and an EMT respond on 911 calls. And still, we have more work to do. We've got to activate our city core again. Our downtown is a ghost town. Our historic Black neighborhood, no one's walking around. That's a problem. We've got to get these businesses back open. We've got to get more arts and energy in these business areas, and we've got to support our small businesses. That's a priority of mine as well. So Colorado is known as a very liberal space to be, and it's true. We are a liberal state, but what does it mean if no one has access to all of that, those great liberal values? If we don't have access to our parks, if we don't have access to medical providers to make sure that we have reproductive justice, right, and reproductive health care, all of these things are nothing but values and lip service unless and until we actually make sure that Denver is a place for everybody.
Certainly.
Yeah, I really appreciate you mentioning the STAR program. That's actually something we've talked about locally. So thank you for bringing that up. I've also heard that this is a pretty crowded race. So can you tell us why you're the best candidate?
Okay, I got to just tell you guys something. While I'm looking at this photo you put up, there's two of my opponents in the crowd. Okay, so I just literally just noticed that. So listen, this is the first year we have public financing, which is a good thing for our city. Right now, Denver donations are matched 1-9, which is one of the highest public financing systems in the country. It's our first time doing it. I'm the first to even qualify for it. And I think that's great, but it has opened the door to a lot of other folks who maybe wouldn't have considered running before. They have jumped in and they are excited to access those dollars. Now, I think we're working out the kinks, when it comes to viability of candidacy. In Denver, you only have to have 300 valid signatures to get on a ballot. I mean, it's just pretty darn easy here. And I don't want to restrict access to the ballot at all, but it does make it a very noisy race. So the voters of Denver are very confused about who they should vote, right, for, and where people stand on the issues. And in fact, media is even worried about covering it because they don't want to be unfair, but they don't have 25 hours to dedicate to the 17 candidates and multiple write-in candidates that have qualified for the ballot. And so these programs and these conversations really help get the message out and break through the noise. What I tell folks is that anyone who wants to run should run for office. I believe that wholeheartedly, and I support people. As the first Black LGBTQ person to hold elected office in Colorado, everyone should be able to run. But for the voters of Denver, I ask that you look at our records. Who's done the work? And who do you feel like can lead the city? I'll put my name next against and my record up against any of the people I'm running with, and I look forward to being Denver's next mayor.
Of course, of course. And we want to make sure that everyone is keeping up to date about dates and times and voting and all of that. So when does voting begin in Denver? And when does voting begin in Denver?
Oh gosh, ballots mail March 13th. Again, great system. We all get ballots in the mail and we can vote by mail. So everyone will get one it'll mail March 13th. You'll get on the 13th or 14th. But then beyond that, you can go vote in person as well. We have a universal balloting system, which is really, really helpful for folks who are thinking about, wanting more time with their ballots, want to research their candidates and all of that. And then you have to have your ballots in or vote by April 4th. So the general election is April 4th. There's no more weeding out of the candidates. This is the ballot. We will pick our number on the ballot next week. And so this is what we got. And then if no one gets 50% plus one, we go to a runoff, and that will be June 6th.
Awesome. And we want to remind our viewers that to keep up to date with everything, to check your voter registration status, to pledge to vote, you can go to headcount.com. Yes, you can check your voter registration status, pledge to vote, and register to vote at Headcount. So go ahead and check that out.
I really love hearing about public financing and vote by mail. Those are things that we have in Washington, D.C. as well, and we learned from your jurisdiction as well. So thanks for talking about those.
Of course.
We want to give you the opportunity to share how people can stay in touch with you, learn more about your campaign, and support you. So let viewers know how they can get in touch and support your campaign.
Thank you. You can definitely go to leslieformayor.com to know more about the campaign. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Leslie Herod. That's LeslieHerod. Another fun fact, Leslie for Mayor was an open URL because not enough females run for these executive offices. It's time to join us too. I shouldn't be the only female running. We should all join together. And so I look forward to seeing more of you on the ballot as well. Follow the campaign, donate, sign up to volunteer if you're in town. If you're not in town, you can actually call from anywhere in this country. And so, or actually anywhere in this world, you can help make phone calls. So please do. Please help us get the word out. We appreciate it. That's leslieformayor.com.
Awesome. Viewers, please look in the description below for links. And Leslie, thank you so much for joining us today. We wish you the best of luck and thanks for your time.
Thank you so much. And my dog Clinton says goodbye as well.
Thank you. To those watching, please follow Team Rayceen on social media.
And click around our YouTube channel, check out our other interviews, vlogs, forums, and more. And while you're there, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Viewers, thank you for watching.